Hello, we are here. I am Başak.
Hello, here we are. I am Kate.
Hi, guys. Nice to meet you again, Kate. How are you
Nice to
doing?
see you. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. My dog had a little surgery last night, so a little bit feeling that together. We are both feeling it, even though I didn't get the
Oh,
surgery.
oh,
But I probably projected more than she does. But
oh.
otherwise, I feel good. How about you?
Good. Yes, I'm good. We have a full house, so things are full on, but all is good.
All is good.
Yes.
I'm curious from our last week conversation
Mhm.
about yoga friendship. We gave ourselves some homework. How did that go for you?
Yes, I think my own work was to reach out to a friend that I've been thinking about, and I have to admit, I didn't do that. So I do feel bad, but, and I will, I did reinvest in a couple of friendships where I've been living for a while. And one was an old friend that I reconnected with, which was amazing. And she was so lovely and just so open-hearted. It was wonderful to connect with her. And then I met a new friend through my dog, a woman from Sweden who is fantastic. And so, we put it out there in the universe, and the universe replied.
Yes,
Yes. How about
yes.
you? Did you do your own
Yeah.
work? You're better than me.
No, it's funny that universe actually did the work for me. My intention was to connect to people that I may know, but I haven't been connected in a deeper way. And actually, few people reached out to me this week from my groups and different sanghas, and it was really lovely. I had a coffee date with one person, I had a lunch date with another person, and it just I was kind of surprised that I didn't put the effort, but I put the intention,
The
and that
intention.
it resulted in a really lovely conversation. So I guess somewhat I did the work.
Yeah, you did half the work.
I think it's just wherever you put your attention, right? Whatever you start noticing, and
Right.
then unfolds in mysterious ways.
Yeah,
So I
where you
really
place
love
your
that
energy.
aspect. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So today's topic is a cool topic.
Hmm.
Today's topic, we are calling it divine fulfillment, choosing contentment over happiness.
Right. I love that title.
Don't you?
Yes, I do. I do. And I just tell our listeners how this came about. There was maybe some people read this, but I think a couple weekends ago in the New York Times, they did a whole section on happiness. And I didn't read all the articles, Bashak, but I read quite a few. And over, I was surprised that not a single article mentioned the word contentment. So rather than pursuing happiness, how about pursuing contentment? And so I thought it would be a very interesting conversation for us today.
Yes, I love
Mm.
it. You're right. We seem to be always chasing happiness, and it always feels like it is a destination. It's like I think it almost tied into getting what you want. If I
Exactly.
have this, I will be happy. If I don't, or if I don't have enough of it, whatever that is, then I won't be happy. So, but it seems like also what we have is never enough.
I know, I know, I know. So, and I think the thing is that pursuit is what gives us angst and gives us, makes us feel bad. So it's very weird. It's very contrary that you're pursuing this happiness, but it's just making you feel worse and worse and worse. So, in the yoga world, we have this term santosha, and you being the Sanskrit scholar.
Oh, I don't know about color.
Well, you know more Sanskrit than I.
Yeah.
Do you actually know what the root is santosha? Like is that like some like with or something? Sorry, I should have.
That's a good question. I didn't really look into
Yeah.
the root of the word, but
Mhm.
Santosh is also, it's kind of like Sankirtana, right? Like there is this congregational feeling. Sun implies this like togetherness again.
Ah, yeah.
And I wonder, and don't quote me on this, I wonder if that has anything to do with that, but it is described as being content in, or the acceptance of whatever it is,
Right.
right? It almost feels like being grateful without grasping.
Ooh, I like that. Yes, without grasping.
And
Yes.
it's not like a denial or unrealistic positivity or to pretension, or, and it doesn't ignore suffering, or it doesn't imply, being lazy. I'm content. I don't have to do anything in life, right? But it is more like, can I be okay when things are not perfect?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, I mean, it's interesting because for my life,
Mm.
before I was doing what I do now full time, I was in corporate world, and I think I get maybe 2 weeks of vacations, and those vacations were so precious to me. And it
Yeah.
was my dream one day, in some day, I would love to live in a beach, near the beach, and really stay as long as I want, and I don't have to, go back to this routine.
Mhm.
And that I actually materialized that after I left the corporate job doing this full time. COVID happened, and magically we got to have a beach house in Turkey. At that time, it was very affordable,
Mhm.
and we started staying in Turkey during summertime, 4 months at a time. And at first I'm like, oh my God, my dream came true. I got what I wanted.
Yay!
So
Yay!
joyful. It was so amazing. But
Yeah.
everything in material gain seems to be short-lived,
Mm.
because, as you know, everything has duality in life.
Yes.
There's always good parts and the not so good parts. So nowadays I'm kind of like, oh, but living away from New York and States, I'm losing work. I am not really meeting the people that one-on-one I meet, and I'm not doing enough work when I'm there, only online clients, retreats. I miss my connections. So there is always this duality. Something is never fully fulfilling for us.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good example. So this, you had this image of this was going to be your perfect happy place, but does that really exist?
Right. And then the
Yeah.
conversation of contentment comes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I just on a sort of side note about the word, because I always love the words, and I don't know, I do, but I was thinking that content, there's that word content, and content is they talk about content on in websites and stuff. It's information. It's a story. And I was thinking that when you are content, it's like you are filled with your own story. There's something there, and so this feeling of being content is so much more grounded than this fleeting happiness and it's wonderful, and you enjoy the happiness, and you experience the lows, but if you can come back to that groundedness of being content, having content, um, I think that's, at least as I've gotten older, I've discovered that's what I need to do. But I'll just backtrack.
Backpack.
I'll backpack too. I love backpacking. I'll backtrack to, the other thing about contentment is that when you're going through hard times, that's, as I sort of said, the lows, that's a place that you can come back to, so you may not be able to find a lot of happiness because you're going through difficult times. Someone close to me has been ill quite a lot, and it's been a lot of challenges up and down, and it's just coming back together to this place of we're in this together, and we love each other, and here we are. I'm going to cry. And we're just doing the best we can, and trying to find, again, the joy in the little moments, and coming down to the balance, the center, I guess. I don't know. It's a bit of a blah 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 I said there.
So no, I just picked up something from your sharing, and it kind of ties back to the santosh, the sun, the being together, right? So the
Ah,
contentment or happiness is not just an alone experience either. You know, and imagine you, even though it is an inner experience again, just like our meditations together, if you can also project that inner experience externally to include people that are close to you in that cycle of
Yes.
contentment, then it
Yes.
really becomes contentment because we are not alone, so there is that aspect of it. There's also the aspect of, especially when it comes to health situations, it always makes me think that what are the things that I'm taking for granted that are really important things in my life,
Yep.
right? And then
Yep.
if you look at that, I think probably health is one for all of
Oh,
us.
oh my gosh. Yes. Without
Unless
it.
you're sick, you never take, you never think about how healthy I am, how grateful I am.
Yep.
But my God,
Yep. It's the
it's
number
most
one.
important,
It
right?
is.
And
And
that alone is source of happiness.
it is. It is. And but you have to remind yourself of that, particularly when you're young, because it just is there for many, not for all, but for many. But you made me remember an article I read about happiness. And I think some people may know this about, there's a big study that's been going on at Harvard for many years about sort of happiness. And I think it's been going on for like 50 years or more. Don't quote me again on that, but people could look it up. And they sort of come around with many sort of ideas about happiness. And one of them is about, as you said, connection and interactions. And it doesn't always have to be people that are just close to you. They say even, small interactions with people on the street or in the subway. You know how you suddenly you might turn to someone because something happened and you share a moment, either you speak or look, and it's that connection, and you suddenly that person becomes a real person, not just someone that you're judging or you're just ignoring. And those connections unbelievably bring a lot of contentment
Yes. And
and moments of happiness into your
and,
life.
and when you talk about connections, I again the quotes comes to my mind from Bhagavad Gita. I'm going to quote.
Oh, good. Read it. Yeah, will you read it for me?
I didn't again. Did I? I didn't note the where, which I
Oh,
which
which verse it
passage,
is?
which verse, but I
Okay.
will try to read it. Someone. So who is the content person? Who is a happy person? Let's put it that way. In the context of yoga, says someone who isn't jealous and treats everyone with kindness, who doesn't see themselves as the owner of everything, and stays humble, who stays steady through good times and bad, who's patient, content, disciplined, and totally dedicated with a focused heart and mind. And that kind of a person is a dear person to divine. It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of
A
stuff.
lot. But if Dharma Mitra,
Yeah.
s- sends these weekly quotes, and I really love them. And this week, actually, of course, we are in this, and it's calling my attention.
Yeah.
It comes to my mailbox, and he says, even though it seems like so much stuff to be aware of in order to find this feeling of happiness, he says, growth in any aspect of our lives or learning, right,
Mhm.
rarely comes all at once. Instead it unfolds slowly
Yeah.
through small daily efforts, quiet endurance, and unwavering trust in the process. And
Mm.
he challenges to ask this question: what new version of myself could emerge if I fully committed to steady and conscious practice starting today?
Yep. Yep. Oh my gosh. I love that. I think for me, you're so right that that was such a freeing thing about yoga is that, you just start fresh every day. And you could even say you. Start fresh every minute, I mean, it's just that sense of that, what is failure? I think failure is not starting again. I think you just got to keep making those baby steps or big steps. You just got to keep trying, you know?
Yeah, and if you ask that question I mentioned before, can I be okay when things are not perfect? Then you can actually pursue your own calling without fear, right?
Right.
What are we fear of?
Yeah.
For not getting what we want, for things
Right.
not to turn out the way that we expect them to.
Right.
But if we can let go of that and be okay with what is,
Right. Right. It's
then we
very
can
interesting.
actually
Yeah.
pursue things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, are you feeling happy today, Bashak?
You know, with my dog being sick, I was really down. Didn't sleep well last night with her. And when I woke up today, I was like, oh, bummer, you know. But
Yeah,
then, yes, thinking about also that we are doing this podcast here again,
mhm,
why I love doing this podcast and I love doing it with you,
yeah,
because this is a reminder we forget these concepts.
I know.
Need reminders all the time. Not that we don't know this,
Right.
but and we are reminded through our associations, our friendships. Then it's just really beautiful. Yes, I am feeling quite content that I have a healthy dog recovering from a surgery.
Mhm.
I have a healthy body, healthy
Yes.
mind so far.
Well, it's
Knock on
questionable.
the wood. And healthy friendships and that are
Yes,
choose very purposefully and with very much details, I mean with very much enthusiasm and attention. So
yes.
yes, in that
Yeah.
sense I feel happy.
Good, good. Well, we have a few more minutes to fill here. Are there any, oh, I know what we have to do. Since we talked a little bit about contentment versus happiness, did we mention the divine? I guess so.
Yes, right.
Yes, we did. So what would be our Om work this week? What?
One thing that comes to my mind is to pause and to breathe, because when you are putting your attention into breath, you are becoming present.
Mm,
Because our teacher always says that you're not breathing tomorrow, you're not breathing yesterday, you're breathing right now.
no.
As the mind connects to the breath, mind becomes present to what is right now, not somewhere, with all the stories and narratives that mind is constantly creating, right? So breathe, pause and breathe.
Pause and breathe. Okay, I love that. I'm going to do your own work, but I'm also going to do a little bit of my own work, which is to try to let it go of fear. I think, I'm still working on that, letting go of fear, what's going to happen next, yeah, I know,
And
and
that's again like a future-based thinking, right?
mhm.
It's so funny. I'm watching this show. I love these Korean shows. I don't know if you watch them.
I don't, but I
And I
should.
love these Korean competition shows. Now they are doing these shows. They bring all these smart people and they do all these interesting competitions. I love that kind of stuff, solving puzzles. And in that, there was a beautiful part of that. They are trying to find this word to open a lock, this
Oh, mhm.
keyword. And to unlock this keyword, it was described as something that is always there, but never is here. And they were all
Something
thinking about
always there, but
it's
never
always there,
here.
but never here. So they kept saying it's future, future. And then they were like, oh, future is always there, but never here. And then the next thing came up is tomorrow. Tomorrow is always there, but there's never a tomorrow of today, right?
Yes, yes,
So I love that, that we are worried about something that is never here, never now. So why don't we just look at and be aware of what is now?
yes, yes. I wish I knew my complete Shakespeare, and friends of mine will be mad that I don't know the full quote, but tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps on this petty pace from day to day, and all our yesterdays become tomorrows or something like I should have looked it up before. But anyway,
So
but
beautiful.
Shakespeare was saying it, right?
Ah,
Yes.
oh my God. Yeah, some
Yeah.
evolved beings there. And then I would say as an homework, practicing gratitude,
Yes.
finding reasons. See, it's when I work with people in coaching capacity, there's always this focus of what is not working. And
Right.
when I ask the question, what's working today? Usually people get like, because there's so much not working, right? And then
Right.
people like, oh, and then as we start touching base of what's working, there's so much beauty, so
Yeah.
much appreciation that comes to surface.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So practicing gratitude, finding reasons, small reasons to be happy today.
Yes.
What
And that
else?
keeps you in the present as well. Um, what else? I feel like that's a lot. And
Well,
didn't Dr.
I will
Mitra
add
just
one
said,
more.
oh, you
Uh,
have one more? Okay, of course
for
you do. Give me.
contentment.
Come on,
Uh,
coach. Coach me. Come on.
I think. The other thing that gives me a lot of contentment is service attitude. How can I be of service?
Yeah.
How can I contribute to your life today? I think
Yes.
that takes me out of my own self and gets me into, serving another, which is, I think, our nature. And that's the simplest pleasure that you can get in any
Yes.
moment.
Yep. Well, you're just make me laugh because we have a 3-year-old living with us right now, and there's a lot of service that goes on, and there's a lot of joy, and there's a lot of being in the moment. I mean, she's teaching me so much, reminding me so much, and you just have to let go of things when you're with a 3-year-old because it's going to be, what she says it's going to be.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
I
Well,
know.
enjoy your time and learn from your little guru.
I will. She is my guru right now. Absolutely. All right. So we do a little outro music.
Yes, thank you so much, Kate.
Okay. Thank you. So lovely
Forward
to
to seeing you.
see you.
Next week we have another interview, and yeah, I'm excited to.
Yes. And our topic is about women and creativity next week.
Yes, that's going to be so
Yes.
exciting.
It's going
So
to be very exciting.
tune in.
Okay. And here we go. We're going to go out with a little music, maybe. Oh, we
Yeah.
are. There we go. I'm getting better at this. Bye, Bashak. I love you.
Bye, Kate. I love you.